What I'm obviously really feel particularly against is for us to really want to think that we can effect transformation through coming out with race-based legislation. We tried it the last 20 years of our democracy. The results are there for anybody to really see.
Ones that actually put you under misery, brutality, savage, in a savage manner for 300 years. And we forgave in 1994 to work together. And they're still really going on to say, no, poor people
Herman
cannot get the services.
One of the millions of South Africans serious about the transformation of this country. I think looking at what has happened in the past during apartheid, what I'm obviously really feel particularly against is for us to really want to think that we can effect transformation through coming out with race-based legislation. We tried it the last 20 years of our democracy. The results are there for anybody to really see. We sit with an economy that is underperforming. We sit with one of the highest unemployment rates in the world. We've destroyed small businesses in this country the last 20 years of our democracy through this draconian labor legislation that we see in place. I'm saying is
he even called the labor laws draconian. So that means they are so horrible. They are parasitic in nature. And we shouldn't have employed them in the first place. And this is the Mr. Mashaba I used to agree with. What happened? Can the real Mr. Herman Mashaba wake up, please?
please let us focus on this transformation, do it creatively by not really dividing this nation on a racial basis. We need to get our children to inherit a society that is free of racism.
But now they can't.
Facts. It's like, now, why are you saying the things you're saying? Blaming white people for everything. Is it because you are a better ex for the DA?
Argument would go along the lines that you will have the tensions between races in South Africa because of the relationship to the economy, right? The structure or the patterns of economic ownership that predominantly in white hands and the majority of blacks excluded. And that is why you need to have the redress, as it were, that the government is pursuing at this time.
Yeah, but the thing is, Tim, if we think about transformation as an opportunity for us to share this declining cake with white people, then I think something is drastically wrong. I think this country should focus on growing this cake. This country has got the potential to really be an economic powerhouse in Africa and the world eventually. But this can only happen when you have the leadership that can inspire the nation to really look at the future.
I agree.
Make sure that I think you can encourage and incentivize South Africans to really be all of us as South Africans. But not when you sit with a situation where you have the leadership that's dependent on dividing us along racial lines. Unfortunately, a system like this will have devastating effects for long-term survival of this country. And I think that's something that, for me, I feel we've got to really stop before it's too late. I think
this is the Mashaba I agree with, man.
Allowed
this is sad.
And the National Party to really divide us along racial lines for many years. And we were fortunate in South Africa in 1994. Nelson Mandela came, remarkable South African, inspired us to really look at the future. But unfortunately, for some reason, this country, the last few years, our focus is on actually dividing along racial lines and thinking that we must focus on sharing this declining cake instead of really focusing on mobilizing South Africans to say, guys, let us grow this economy, because in the process of growing this economy, everybody is going to benefit. And who's going to be the biggest beneficiaries of this growth? Us black people,
exactly,
because we're
bro.
In the majority.
This is crazy.
We're in government.
So what changed, Mr. Herman? What changed with you, man? Because, I mean, you can already see what is happening in the GNU. The DA is voting with the ANC's policies. They are allowing them to have a free reign on everything. They gave them the Bella Act. And then now it was what is this? The expropriation bill. It is going to be the NHI after. We need a proper leader in South Africa. And what a shame that Mr. Herman Mashaba, who had a good chance at a shot of being a president of South Africa, is just messing everything up by always complaining about white people and not looking for solutions. This is the Herman I love. This is the Herman I used to agree with. I just wonder what changed, man.
Focus on ensuring that we allow small businesses that used to really operate during the apartheid days. Small business, black South African businesses that were destroyed by the current labor legislation. Let us allow those small businesses to operate, because these small businesses will invariably be the ones responsible for the employment of the 8.5 million unemployed South Africans. Let us invest in education, not education at the university level. Let us invest in education at primary level. Actually, from the time a black child it's born in this country, let's ensure that there's proper education in our community. Let us take away the power from COSATU and SACTU from really controlling education of this country. Education of this country, let it be controlled by government in the interest of all South Africans. For me, that is when you will see 15, 20 years down the line, when you're going to have black engineers, we'll have them in abundance. We're going to have black professors. Right now, there's this debate in our country, people asking us to really have black professors in university. Where are you going to find those professors when we're not actually cultivating them? So these are the things that I think we're looking for short-term solutions to this complex challenge. Let us really focus on the future and really be prepared to invest and work hard.
Herman Mashaba, thank you very much for talking to us.
Wow. Herman Mashaba was the hope in South Africa, according to me at least. But he just threw that out of the window, man. This is him just being a victim all day, every day.
Why must I work with a political party that subjected me for 300 years to?
They didn't, and let's stop there, because you can't.
I'm saying is no. Why do you feel comfortable for me to say no? The ones that actually put you under misery, brutality, in a savage manner for 300 years, and we forgave in 1994 to work together, and they're still really going on to say no, poor people cannot get the services, and we expect me I must work with them.
Herman, I'm saying that's a very, very lazy and inflammatory.
And by also saying poor people can't get the services, I'm assuming he's saying poor people are black people, even though we have poor white people in South Africa, man. What's wrong with this, man?
And then I'm happy to be lazy.
No, I'm saying it's an inflammatory argument purely because, you know, to go back beyond the issue at hand.
If you are saying the ANC cannot be reformed, but then how do you expect me that I must say people who oppressed me for 300 years, destroyed my race for 300 years, that they will be reformed?
Because as far as I recall, it was...
Bro, I've reacted to this video before, and he's just defending working with the ANC, even though he used to say that the ANC was a criminal syndicate. So trust a politician at your own peril, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened to Herman Mashaba. Probably he saw on the 24th of May 2024, was it the 29th, when people voted. When he didn't get the votes mostly went to the new party, MK, who are a very far left party in South Africa. I must say they believe in socialism in its whole entirety. So, man, I don't know what happened to this guy. I wish he could come back. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications so that you're notified every time we upload. One time.